Well, qualifying final. Panthers up against the Warriors. Nathan Cleary and his boys, way too strong. Let's take a look how this one played out. Hey team, welcome back into the Warriorholic. Off the back of a pretty tough weekend, not just for the Warriors, not just for our fans, but for New Zealand sport in general. AB's going down, Izzy going down, but most painfully, the Warriors. We really struggled. To be honest, I didn't think I was going to get a chance to get this done for you guys this week. Work's going crazy. As a consultant, this is the time of year that I'm really busy trying to lock in my work for next year as my clients close up their budgets, but I thought, bugger it. I committed to do this at the start of the year. I'm sure you're curious what I think. The boys are still turning up, so I thought, bugger it, I'm going to. I'm not going to have a chance to get into all the detailed player reviews or put up the graphics, but I wanted to share my thoughts, put a few things in perspective and let you know that I'm still all in and hoping that you are too. First and foremost, you've got to give it to the Panthers. That was absolutely clinical. Reminded me of the All Blacks when they were in their best form going back about 4 or 5 years. Absolutely clinical, relentless, punish everything, take every opportunity, and for an up-and-coming team with no halfback there, it was always going to be a huge ask. Nathan Cleary was just unbelievable. He reminded me of Dan Carter in his prime. Not surprising since Dan Carter's actually coaching him at the moment, but he was that much in control of that game. He put that team on his back, ran 196 metres at halfback, and he was just in everything. Without a halfback, without Shaun Johnson there, without a recognised kicker, it was always going to be like a battle. It was going to be tough for us to win, but shit. They had 10 guys run for over 100 metres. We had 5. They had 9 line breaks. We had none. They had 55 tackle breaks. We had about 26. Brian Toll had 9 tackle breaks on his own. So, what do you take out of it? They're a team in the 4th year under this new structure, under this development program. I think it might be his 4th year or 3rd year with Cleary there. So they're where we want to be in 4 years' time from now. Don't get pissed off at them. Don't get all jealous and think that they're arrogant or whatever. They're just guys who enjoy their footy and they're clinical and their fans are riding a wave after many years of inconsistency as well. I got a little bit frustrated with Warriors fans getting all pissy about, they're up the pars or whatever. I think when you play that well and you're that clinical, you can afford to be a bit cocky. People give them shit for the way they celebrate their tries. Good on them. They've worked their asses off to get here. And I know full well if we get to the stage where we're that dominant, Kiwi fans will be worse. So, take a deep breath. It sucks to be on the losing side of it, but respect what that Panthers team's done. I've always said if we don't win it this year, I hope they do. I think they deserve to be the only team in recent history to go 3 in a row. I want them to be ahead of what someone like the Storm has done, who's bought in other people's talent. I want them to be better than East, who pay for their teams every year, don't develop their own players. So for me, they're a success vision. Things might annoy you, might suck to lose to them, but that's what we want to be as a team. We need to be that clinical, that ruthless, that polished. We need that pathways that every year they've lost top players and just replace them. We can do that as well, but just be patient, people. It's year 1. We're still in it, so don't get too down. Quick review of ours. I'm not going to go player for player. Honestly, I just don't have time. I'm going to get this done up and edited so you guys can have a quick watch. For those of you on Instagram, I'm going to be doing a live with Waz up tomorrow from 9 o'clock, so jump on and follow his Instagram. We'll get a bit of a game breakdown there, and I will put up a preview tomorrow. But for now, I've seen a lot of hateful posts about Adam Pompey for a start. It really pisses me off, people. These guys are humans. They're fathers, they're sons, they're brothers, they're mates. Would you want people posting that kind of bullshit about you or your family? Pull your head in. It wasn't all on Pompey. He tackled it over 80%. A lot of those things that went down out on the edges there were because we didn't get the numbers right in the middle. And it makes guys like Pompey and Montoya look shit. Sure, they didn't play perfectly. Montoya missed his tackles, but it wasn't all on Pompey. I'm telling you that right now. It wasn't down to one individual player. That was the boys who were struggling without the leadership and the direction of SJ out there. You get on the back foot, you lose that momentum when you're constantly losing 10 to 20 metres per set because of the distance in your kicking game. You get fatigued. You get behind on the scoreboard. You get a try denied. And you just start trying anything to stay in the game, and we just got individualistic out of it. We didn't play as a team. And that's on everyone who was out there. It's on the coaching staff. It's not on one or two players. So I don't think it's right that people are out there being absolutely abusive about players like Adam Pompey. The guy played every minute of every game this year. Webby's a bloody smart coach, and he doesn't pick a guy in that position if he's not good. He would have put Ali Lautoa back in there if he was that awesome. And Pompey wasn't. The guy had an outstanding game for the Cup boys on the weekend, so don't put it all on one guy. That's all I can say. Jackson Ford is another guy who got a lot of shit about how he played in the weekend, this and that. The guy plays with heart and intensity for 80 minutes, week in, week out, making 35, 40 odd tough tackles, taking those hard hit-outs. You make the odd mistake, that's just part of it. He's in his first year with us. He'll get better. We can't just keep chopping people left, right and centre. Everyone's going on about Curran should be the guy. Curran had a similar tackle efficiency as Ford. Everyone had their shortcomings in the weekend. Let's focus on the good things. We were in that game for 30 minutes. If that first try was allowed, we were 6-all, it would have been a totally different game. A couple of those bounce of the ball calls, and I'm not going to say the refs were biased. We've seen it come our way. Dominant teams get 50-50 calls. They got him. They got a couple of piggybacks out. And once that starts happening, the fatigue up against a clinical team like the Panthers, it kicks in. This weekend, we really need SJ back. We need that director. We need that kicking game. I'm not 100% sure why they didn't go for Volkman. There are various theories out there. But I hope they consider it this week if SJ's out, because we need a kicking game. We need a kicking game to be able to put Ponga under pressure. We need to be able to play as a team. We saw how destructive that edge is, the right-hand edge there for the Knights. We know how destructive Marju is on the other edge. We know how rough and tumble their full pack will be. We've got to play as a team of 17 players. We've got to get the selections right. We've got to get a bit of a bounce to the ball with not getting guys injured, not getting bad calls. If we get a 50-50 chance, I think we've got every opportunity of beating the Knights. But whatever happens, I'm going up there. I'm going to love being part of it. The boys have exceeded my expectations. I dreamed of them being in the top 6. I knew they'd make the 8. Who would have dreamed top 4? First year under Webby. RTS back next year. See what the Cup boys did on the weekend there to the Raiders. The future's bright, but right now just get excited and enjoy this game regardless of what happens. I know the boys will be out there giving everything. I really hope we can sing that team song at the end of the game after a victory. I'm still all in. I still believe. Hope you guys are. Try and focus on the positives. And if you see me at the game, come up and say good day. Me, Waz Up, some of the guys from Warriors Anonymous, Nick from Warriors Fans TV, Brad Inger. We're all going to be at Lilyweld from pretty early on before the game. Pop on over, come up and say good day. Have a beer. Then get into that crowd and just rock it up and walk out there without a voice. See you on Saturday night, team. Up the mighty Waz.